made Europeans wake up within a week or so that the US was fundamentally different and at least was not there in terms of a guarantor of security.
Hmm.
That means for NATO, etc. But then also with that comes its place in upholding democracy, the rule of law, and then our issues, gender equality, reproductive health and rights fall within that.
Yeah, and
I
of
mean,
course, I mean,
this,
you and I are not naive about the U.S.'s role in all of this over the years. That
mhm,
the U.S. has not always been, uh, shall we say, a fully honest actor in a lot of these cases. With
mhm.
human rights, upholding human rights in theory, but then doing other things in practice. But nevertheless, what you're saying is, I think, very important. It's not just any random country here doing this. It's the United States of America, which, as a result of the arrangements after the Second World War, has a very unique role in a lot of international institutions and in the global
Yeah, I
order,
mean,
right?
exactly. I mean, whether we like it or not, and the French in me is
Mm-hmm.
pained by having to say this, but I mean, we have to recognize that the US was the pillar of the Western liberal order that upheld democracy and human rights.
Yeah,
And now it's decided not to play that role anymore.
yeah.
So I think we need to recognize this, and then this has a consequence on every other country that wants to uphold democracy and human rights. That we need a different way of consolidating ourselves.
Mm. So, speaking about the next phase of what's happening, you call this consolidation, where you discuss the new ideological framework the US is pushing through international
Mhm.
channels, including at the Munich Security Conference. And that involves combating, the so-called gender ideology and diversity, equity, and inclusion, and promoting the Geneva Consensus Declaration. Can you say a bit more about what this Geneva Consensus Declaration is about for my listeners who don't know it,
Yep.
and what can we expect from that posture?
Yeah. So the Geneva Consensus Declaration is something that dates back to the first Trump
Mm,
administration.
mm,
So it's been around for a couple of years. And it's basically a fake UN document. It's written in UN language, but it's not related to any UN thing, except that it was perhaps signed and agreed in a room on UN premises, rented and paid for by one of the member states.